Hello and welcome to another edition of For the Record. I'm Sean Murphy. We are here today at the Little T Quarter Midget Club in Thompson, Connecticut, and they have invited us into their house. First up on the show, it's Anthony Franco. He's the tech director here. Thanks for having us here today. Appreciate it.
Glad to have you here.
So you can hear the quarter midgets going around behind us. Describe in a little bit of detail what the Little T Quarter Midget Club is here in Thompson.
Well, actually, it's just a club that was formed back in the 60s. It started out in Mystic, Connecticut.
It goes that far back, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
It ended up here sometime in the mid-70s. And basically, it's just a quarter scale of a midget car itself.
Right.
And kids start out at the age of 4.5, 5 years old, all the way up until 16, 17 years old. They can make a career out of racing here.
And this little track is right next to the full-size Thompson
5/8
Speedway.
mile,
Yeah.
yes, oldest paved track in the country, right up above our heads here, and a lot of good racing over there.
Now, are they're not phasing out the oval, but they're getting a little bit more involved in a road course, right?
Yes,
Talk
absolutely.
about that a little bit.
They just changed the facility. They spent the last 2 years. I think the whole planning of it was involved, took maybe 5 years, and now it's near completion. I believe they're having their first sanctioned event race this month. I think on the 22nd or 23rd.
Road courses are a little bit more scarce,
Lefts
a little rare.
and rights, yeah.
There's no left turn, and that's it, right?
No,
not an oval.
Yep.
All right, so let's talk a little bit more about the quarter midgets, okay? Like you said, quarter of the size of your regular midget car that you will see on a lot of the ovals around the states of Connecticut and Rhode Island, where this show is being seen today. But talk about that a little bit.
Well, I mean.
And I want you to talk about it as the tech director, because one of your jobs is making sure everything is running smooth, legit, making sure everything is even and fair, because that's what I really want to know about.
Absolutely. Here, or like any track across the country, you want it to be as level playing field as possible. And as a tech director here, I spend a lot of time working with the handlers and just making sure they're following the rules.
Now the handlers, are they like sort of the pit crew, parent crew, the pit crew?
Yeah,
all right.
yeah, we call them handlers.
You make it official, technically.
Yeah. Well, the kids don't actually do all the work. The parents do.
Yeah.
We like to say that kids, do it all. They do it all on the track.
Right.
And the handlers do it all at home or at the trailer and make it possible for these kids to go around.
So just like in real big racing, where everything needs to be even and everybody's on an even keel and even playing surface, so to speak, with the technology, that's what you're doing here, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Making it fair. And
now, what are some things that can be sort of out of spec where one person might have an advantage?
The tires can play into a big factor. We don't allow any kind of treating of tires to soften them up to get more grip.
Right.
The engines, we have engine platforms for each class. So there's guidelines within the engine of all the parts they have to run and which dimensions they need to fit to make sure that everybody has the same thing.
Some parents would want to try to get a little advantage if they could?
There's always that competitive edge, and people are looking to read between the lines and just try to find that little bit of an edge to go out there and do better than the next person.
Now, when you talk about softer tires, when you're talking about midgets, whether it's quarter midget or the regular size midgets, those are designed to soft or hard. You're designed to be able to take those sharp curves anyway. It's not like a stock car where you really could be all over the road slipping and sliding, right?
I mean, the slowest part of the corner on a circle track is the center. So the better your car will roll through the center and not lose speed, the faster you're going to go. One of the ways to do that is to have better grip. If your car is sliding around the track, it may go around the circle, but you lose time when you're sliding. You're better off having the car nice and grip to the track, but not over grip. You could have it over grip to the track, and it could actually slow you down. So there's that fine line, there's a balance of how good you can be gripped to the track.
What was it they said in one of the movies? Fast is loose, and you're out of control on the turn, or not on this track, but
I do. I mean, that's Hollywood.
Yeah. That's where I saw it.
Yeah, absolutely. You see a lot of things in Hollywood that just don't make sense in the real world.
Right. Rubbin' Sun is racing. But that doesn't go on here either.
That slows you down too.
That's right. Now, let's talk about safety on a track like this. You can see the walls, you can see how they're kind of like, it's almost a shock absorber all the way around with the tires behind it. Safety's one of the main issues, right?
Yes, it is. The last thing we want to do is have any of our drivers get hurt. So we spend a lot of time making the walls so they crush. So if there is an incident where a car gets into the wall, then it slows the car down and it doesn't make it a hard hit.
Right.
Similar to what they do in NASCAR with designing their walls to absorb the shock and not have the body or the driver absorb the shock. That's when you get injured.
And even as when we got here earlier, before we started shooting, you know, we saw some collisions into the wall and stuff, but they're absolutely safe, aren't they?
Absolutely. 9 times out of 10, if somebody gets hurt here, it's usually a parent not paying attention and a car rolling into them.
Well, I want you to tell the story. Was it your son who did a nice rollover?
He did.
And the end of the story is the best part. Take us from the beginning.
He got into a situation where he was going down the front stretch here, and when he got to about the flagger, which is the entrance to turn 1, he got tangled with a car, and his car actually barrel rolled side to side, and it lifted off the ground, and he landed on turn 2 wall, which is over your left shoulder, and he landed wheels up.
Wow.
And immediately he put his thumbs up on the steering wheel to let everybody know that he was okay.
Wow. Now that's from Hollywood too, but I mean he wanted to let you know that he was okay,
absolutely.
Right? Now he wanted to actually finish the race.
He actually wanted to know if his car was okay to run because he wanted to finish the race.
Was it okay?
It was fine.
Okay, so he was able to finish, right?
He finished the race.
And if you're in competitive competition, you want those points, right? So you want to be able to finish it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it becomes tricky here. You know, the whole point thing.
Right.
We have a champion at the end of the year, and so yeah, all those races do count. So you want to have your best finishes.
Is there a website for Little T for people to go and learn more about
Yes, it's littletSpeedway.com.
And what's on the website for people to see?
It has everything from registering to finding out about what's called a promotion day, which we just had this morning.
Right, that was today, right?
Yeah, we actually have people that are interested in getting into this sport, and they come out and they sign their kid up anywhere from the age of 5 to as old as 16, and we provide them with all the safety gear, the car, and they go around and they turn 10 laps out there and they find out if it's something that they want to engage their children with.
So a little kid could never have driven one of these before, but if he's kind of interested, you don't have to be a member of any club or anything like that. You could just,
our insurance allows us to do this and come out and have some fun.
All right. Well, it sounds like fun. I can hear they're having a good time out there. Anthony Franco, the tech director for the Little T Quarter Midget Club here in Thompson. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
You're
we appreciate
welcome. Glad to have you here.
We got a lot more to get to, so we'll take a break and come back. I'm Sean Murphy. This is For the Record. Welcome back to For the Record. Sean Murphy here at the Little T Quarter Midget Club in Thompson. I'm here with, we talked about these guys that work on the cars, but how about an actual race car driver? Now I'm here with the son, Nicholas Franco, who is part of the story that was told by his dad a few minutes ago about the roll, right? That was you?
Yeah.
So, describe that. First of all, thanks for being on the show. Appreciate it. Now that you're going to be a big-time TV star.
You.
But let's talk about that because, safety is a big concern, even on tracks like this and on big tracks too. But what happened when you kind of did the roll? What happened? What caused that?
Well, it was initial restart. We went double file, and somebody decided to make it 3 wide, and he bumped off the speed bumps in corner 2. It hit me, and I ended up flipping twice, and then getting off the ground and then landing on the wall.
Is it not supposed to be 3 wide? Is it only supposed to be 2 wide on this track?
Well, it doesn't really matter. It was just that you can go 3 wide whenever you want. It's just that whenever you're doing it and you're really close to corner number 2, it's just, if you hit the speed bump, you'll run up into car number 2, and then that will bounce off to car number 3, and bad things will happen.
So you rolled. These midget cars have roll bars on them, so that kind of takes away some of the issues, right?
It's a lot safer than go-karts.
Yeah, right. So you rolled and you ended up in a wall, right?
Yep,
and the car ended up wheels up, right?
Yep, on the wall.
But you got a lot of gear on. You got this, but you also have a big, thick helmet. Oh, it looks like a motorcycle helmet, right?
Yeah.
And so, were you hurt at all? No?
No.
So it's very safe. The walls, the way that the car is made, what you wear, it's completely safe, right? Now, how old are you?
I am 12, turning 13.
12, going to be 13. And when did you start? And how old?
I started when I was 5.
Okay. Now, what made you decide you wanted to get into this?
Well, I used to play with Matchbox cars a lot, and then my cousin got into racing here, and then we came to watch him many times, and then my dad bought me a car, and then we just started racing ever since.
And you liked it, right?
Yeah.
Now,
really fun.
this, for quarter midgets, it goes up to about 16, right? Somewhere around there?
For miles per hour?
No, for age group.
Oh, yes.
So you got a few years to decide what you want to do. Like, do you think you'll keep on racing after?
Yeah, I probably will.
Yeah. Get up. Do you want to like eventually like be on the bigger track? Do you want to
Yeah.
race like stock someday?
Yeah.
Something like that? That's very cool. So what's your next race here? I mean, by the time this show airs, it might have already come, but it goes all summer, right?
Yes.
So you're in a club. How often do you race? Is it once a week?
Once a week, and then we usually have a 3-week off, and then we get back racing.
Is there like such a thing as like practice? Do you go to the
Oh yeah, you
do
can
that?
practice, but in those 3 weeks they have things called national events where you travel and
Oh,
you can
okay.
go to different places.
Are you going to do that, or have you done that?
I haven't done it yet, but we may do it this year. I don't know.
So you're thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
Do girls like race car drivers, even the quarter midgets?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I should have got into it when I was younger then. All right, so this is Nicholas Franco, one of the race drivers here, and he was able to spend some time with us on the show, so thanks, appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a break and come back. Sean Murphy, for the record, stay with us. Welcome back to For the Record. I am Sean Murphy here in Thompson for the Little T Quarter Midget Club, and you can hear and see the kids rolling around the track now. I'm here with the club treasurer, Joe Ferreira, who's been non-stop action, and we had a great time off the air. Thanks for being on the show, and also inviting us to your house, your track today. I appreciate it.
No problem. Pleasure to have you.
A lot of the stuff that we talked about with Anthony in the first segment, I just want to touch base with you too. And just kind of talk about, going back a little ways with Little T and the history and just some stuff for people to kind of get an idea of what it's all about.
Little T as a speedway started here in 1977. The Honig family allowed us to come on the grounds and build a track. Previous to that, we had started out in different places in Connecticut as far back as in the 50s.
Wow.
And we slowly came across the state until we found a permanent home here since 1977.
Now, the owner here of this track also owns the larger Thompson Speedway, correct?
Correct.
And now he's venturing into road course, right?
Yes. They just spent millions of dollars updating, putting in a brand new road course. They still have the 5/8 mile oval. They're basically renting the track out to auto clubs, so anybody that's interested in that type of racing, fantastic facility up there.
So then the big oval, really isn't part of a season anymore per se then?
They're running, from what I understand, 6 races this year, and then they'll evaluate it from that point.
Gotcha. But they're kind of getting more interested in the road course now, right?
It seems to be heading in that direction.
Can quarter midgets do road courses too, or are they strictly like an oval type thing?
We have done a road course before. It's obviously a smaller version of what's up there.
But it's something besides a left turn, right?
Yes, absolutely. It can be done.
Right. And I would imagine, just like in like regular stock cars, the car would be set up differently for a road course than it would for an oval, right?
Absolutely, because you have to turn left and right. Where on the oval, you're only turning left. So.
But anything different with like tires or anything
No,
like that?
we ran the same tires. It's just allowing the cars a little bit more free of a turn to be able to turn right. The road course redesign had very little right turn in it to make it easier on everybody.
Yeah.
So it came off very well. Everybody seemed to like it.
You know, a race car is a race car, whether it's a full-scale stock car or a quarter midget. The same things happen in the sense of, I see stalls, those happen, right? See somebody go into the infield, maybe hit a wall, bump a wall, maybe there's a side swipe. Racing is racing, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, you have a son that's in the Little T Club as well, right?
I have two.
Two. One is, what are their ages?
One is 13, and the other one is 10.
You are a former racer yourself, not this, but talk about that a little bit.
I used to do some drag racing.
That's very different.
That's very different, yeah. Did that for a little bit. Tracks in Connecticut closed down, so that kind of went away. After that, I ran a speed shop for a while.
But you somehow, some way, were involved in racing. Whether it was you doing the racing, running the shop,
Right.
you know, doing this with your kids. You've stayed involved with it.
Oh,
It's in your blood. You love it, right?
Absolutely. I mean, after all that was done, we spent 11 years at Waterford Speed Bowl,
Yeah.
working on cars down there. So there's always been something.
And this is interesting that you told me off the air. As a parent, you have two boys that are in it. They love it. But if there ever should come a time, and you never know when it could happen, you know how kids are, if they should suddenly become disinterested a little bit, you got no problem with that, right?
No, there is no pressure on them.
Although you have invested a lot of money in this sport so far.
But that's part of it.
Yeah.
You know, you can invest as much as you want or as little as you want and get by. These kids are doing it because they want to do it, not because I want to be out there doing it. If I wanted to be out there doing it, I'd have the car for myself.
Right.
This is what they want to do. They've been told when you've had enough, all you have to do is say the word.
You're kind of like
Why not?
you're kind of living vicariously through your kids, the way that a parent does with any sport that their kid participates in, gymnastics, little league, whatever it is, right?
Right. I mean, you love to see them enjoying
Yeah.
themselves, doing well. You love to see them get the trophies, and you know, you hate to see them get the wrecks, but that comes with it too. And
Well, you know, it's funny you should mention that because when I talked to Anthony in the first segment, and you feel the same way, you know the sport so well, and you know the safety issues so well that if there is a wall hit, a crash, a side swipe, you barely raise an eyebrow because you are so well versed with the safety of the vehicle, the headgear, and the wall that it doesn't even worry you at all, does it?
no, it really doesn't. I mean, I've watched my kids barrel roll. They've flipped. They've pretty much done everything. We've bounced all the wall. You know.
And they still wanted to finish the race,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. That's always the first thing they ask. Can I finish the race?
And the only answer you could give them, if the car is capable of it, then you can do it, right?
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
those 3 points are important, right?
Absolutely. Every point when you're running for a championship counts.
How long does the season go for?
Our season starts usually the first weekend of May and runs right through October.
All right, and what is it, once a week that they'll
It's
race?
once a week. Typically, our race events are on Sundays. We do have a few two-day events where Saturday and Sunday. If we're holding a national event, then we'll typically start on a Friday with practice. Goes into qualifying on Saturday, with the mains on Sunday.
So if you're in a national event, you're going on the road then, right?
No, we actually have a national event here.
Oh, okay. So
This-
they're coming from other
yeah,
places to
This
come
year
here.
we'll have a Northeast Regional event here. 2 years ago we had a national USAC event here. We're expecting to have the national USAC event again next year.
Now, just like in other sports, is there sort of, if you have a race that's once a week, maybe on the weekends, are there like practice? Is there practice like during the week or any time, you know, to run just to tweak the car?
Absolutely. Once you join up and you've gotten past the rookie graduation, per se, the track is open for any of our members to be able to come here at any point during the week and practice. So if I want to come down here on Monday and have my kids run around on the
So
track,
if you're a member, you have that right,
Yes.
that privilege.
yeah, there are certain times where the track is closed due to other events going on.
Right.
Those are the only exceptions to that rule.
They're still out there. They've been out there the whole time we've
Oh,
been
yeah.
doing this show. If some parents have kids that are expressing an interest in maybe getting involved in this, but the parents are concerned because you know how they are, what can you tell them to alleviate their concerns?
That, in all honesty, if I didn't think my kids were safe in here, they wouldn't be out there. Like you said before, I've watched my kids barrel roll, I've watched them flip. Their concern is, can I finish the race? It's not, oh, I got hurt, you know, or I'm hanging out of this car. I've been here for 8 years. I've never seen a child get hurt where they couldn't walk away from the car.
And you feel confident and safe, and the kids, they have no fear because they don't ever think that they're going to get hurt, so they're invincible anyway, right?
And they love it. I mean, like you said, can't get them off the track.
And moms like try to get them off the track. Now, on a day like this where it's a promotional day where kids and parents who aren't involved in a club can kind of try it out,
Yep.
which is a great incentive and a great way to kind of get them to see if they would want to invest more time and energy and money into it. So how often do you have these type of events?
We do it twice a year.
Okay.
Once usually in the middle of the summer, and then we do another one in October. The one in October typically gives people a little more time to figure out if this is what they want to do, where right now with the one we just had, if we have interest, we'll actually have another training class and get these kids racing this year.
Now, another thing that parents might be wondering about for those who want to initially get involved in it, what is that initial training, that talk that you have, you know,
Yep.
alleviate their concerns, but also once they get into the car, because even today, you know, you sit down with them, you talk to them, you say, here's what you have to do, here's what you're going to do, follow these rules, you'll see flags, you even have the flags out for
Right.
them too.
It's a 6-week training course. The first week we're actually up
That's when they first sign up, right?
Correct.
Okay.
This would be coming in, brand new member, rookie. We take them up to the clubhouse where they have the banquet hall. We actually sit up there, we teach them lineups, we show them how to strap into the cars, we explain the flags, we show them videos. We try to explain as much of the detail as we can, and we just keep moving the kids from station to station. And we encourage the parents to go with them. That way they're seeing everything that's going on. This year we actually had the kids climbing in the car, we strapped them in, put helmets on them, made sure that the parents understood how to do that properly. That's your biggest thing, making sure that the belts, wrist restraints are all set up properly. If those are set up properly, the kids are going to be fine.
They're gonna have a great time.
Oh,
too.
absolutely.
Now, like with Anthony, his kids will eventually get older, and then there'll have to be a decision made. Do I keep doing this? Do I want to advance to the next level? And you will have those same issues to confront as well with your
Right.
kids, right?
Absolutely.
What do you think is going to happen? Are they going to want to stay in it? You have one a little older than the other.
Yep, the older one's already talking about wanting to be able to do something up on the bigger track.
Wow. Okay.
The younger one still wants to stay where he's at the moment, which is fine because at 10 you can't jump into a class up top yet. So it's all part of moving up and considering what they want to do.
But you're going to support them no matter what, right?
Absolutely.
But you can tell that they have racing in their blood because their dad has racing in his blood, and only good things from here. By the way, what happens in the winter with the Little T Quarter Midget Club? What are you doing? Anything?
We basically only have some club meetings in the winter.
Okay.
Once we shut down in October, the track is basically shut down until the March time frame.
You don't want to be plowing the course,
We
right?
don't want to be plowing the track, right?
Right. How often does the track itself get maintenance on it?
We're always doing whatever it needs around time. We have a track opening day, basically, where we come out in the spring. We just go through everything, make sure everything's up to par, sections of the wall that need to be replaced, tires that need to be replaced, anything like that that needs to be maintained gets done. And then throughout the year.
As
anything
needed, right?
Absolutely. Somebody crashes into the wall, one of the boards break, we're going to replace that board. We're not going to leave it broken.
On a competitive weekend, how busy does it get here?
Typically, we've been averaging 110 cars.
Oh, okay.
So probably right around 75 to 80 drivers,
How many can be on a track at the same time?
up to 12 cars.
Okay, all right. Now, when it gets that tight, do you get a little side swiping ever or anything like that?
It does become a little more frantic.
Okay.
Sometimes people aren't as patient as they ought to be, and the ensuing wrecks happen. But they do pretty well. I mean, you have to remember, you're talking kids from
Right.
5 to 16, and you're throwing them into these cars.
They
that-
love it.
They do, but
Yeah.
we actually had somebody figure out at one point that their reaction times on this size track at the speeds they're going need to be quicker than at Indy 500.
No kidding. Wow. Is there ever a race going on here that then there would be one at the big track at the same time? Or do they try
Absolutely.
to keep? Okay, so it's at the
Absolutely.
same time. Really?
Yep.
Wow. So that's a big weekend around these parts, huh?
Absolutely. Last year when we had our national event, they actually had a Thursday race up there, and then we started with our practice and time trials on a Friday. So it dovetailed nicely on that weekend.
Looking forward to a great summer here.
Absolutely, it's always great. Yeah.
The Little T website one more time for people to go to.
LittleTSpeedway.org.
And on the website, upcoming events. If they
Our
want to
schedule's up there. Basically, all the information rules are up there. Links to the USAC sanctioning body are there. Board members, phone numbers are there. So if they need to contact somebody to find out more information, it's all there.
everything you need.
Absolutely.
Joe Ferrer, the club treasurer of Little T Quarter Midget Club in Thompson, Connecticut. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us. Appreciate it.
No problem. Always a pleasure.
All right.
Thank you.
We're going to take one more break and come back. I'm Sean Murphy. This is For the Record. Stay with us. So that is our show for today. I'm going to jump into, I probably won't fit in one of these, but I'll see if I can get a larger midget car and jump into. This is For the Record. You can see this show and many others on our YouTube site. Until next time, take care.